The battle was over, not because one side had surrendered, but because there was nothing left to fight with the capital ship destroyed, and the last FTL-capable mercenary vessel reduced to drifting debris. The remaining enemy fighters didn't even try to resist. They powered down. They knew there would be no escape. Some had tried. In those final desperate seconds, they rushed toward the hangar bays, hoping, praying, the ship would jump. But hope doesn't outrun explosions. They were vaporized before they ever made it. And now, silence. For the first time since the battle began, the void was quiet. That silence allowed one ship to move freely. The Silent Runner. Slowly, carefully, it drifted through the graveyard of metal and fire, past shattered hulls, past frozen bodies, past the ghosts of a battle that had ended only moments ago. Then, a sound, a distress beacon, faint, broken, but persistent. Inside the bridge, Captain Nico narrowed his eyes. "Bring us in." The ship adjusted course. The landing bay was cleared, and as they approached, the source revealed itself. An escape pod, or at least what was left of one. Cart leaned closer to the captain, lowering his voice. "You don't seriously expect anyone to be alive in that thing, do you?" Nico took a slow breath. "We don't know who's inside." A pause. "But if it's the Princess's Royal Marines?" He glanced toward the medical bay. "Be ready." The pod drifted into the hangar, spinning slightly unstable. Its hull was destroyed. One entire side had been peeled open, like burnt metal skin torn apart by force. Cracks spread across its surface, glowing faintly. The atmosphere inside? Gone. Mag clamps fired. Locked. Held it in place. Then, nothing. The distress beacon died, as if the pod itself had decided. Its job was finished. Silence returned. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Amara's voice echoed softly. Pressure seal non-functional. A pause. She recalculated. Again. Life signs detected. Everyone froze. "How many?" Nico asked. 6. Another pause. Extremely weak. Multiple critical conditions. Cart turned slowly. 6. But Nico was already moving. "Open it." Drones surged forward. Sparks burst as they forced open melted circuitry. Metal screamed. 3-2. The hatch tore open. Air rushed in, carrying with it a smell no one ever forgets. Burned armor. Scorched insulation. Blood. Inside was hell. Milcade sat slumped in the center, still strapped in. His harness had fused to his armor. His visor cracked. Blood streaked across it. But he was breathing. Barely. Rama lay beside him, unconscious. His arm twisted unnaturally. Armor split open across his ribs. Vasiliy was missing part of his leg, cleanly severed, cauterized by the blast. Ibanez hung upside down, trapped in her harness, blood floating around her helmet in thick droplets. Lamar's chest unit forced air into his lungs, each breath jerking his body violently. And Sandra didn't move. Her armor was burned through. One hand gone, but a faint pulse. Still there. For half a second, no one spoke. Then Nico's voice cut through everything. "Med teams move." Everything exploded into action. Stretchers, drones, commands, controlled chaos. Careful with his spine. Full trauma protocol. Straight to surgery. As they pulled Milcades free, his eyes opened. Barely. His vision blurred. Shapes moved around him. Lights. Voices. Then, he saw her. Clara. For a moment, everything else disappeared. "Princess," he whispered, trying to salute. Pain cut him off. Clara dropped to her knees beside him. Her voice broke. "You're not allowed to speak." Tears filled her eyes. "Just get better." Around them, the rest of the Marines were carried away. One by one. Alive. Against all odds. Alive. Minutes later, the hangar was empty. Only silence remained. Nico stepped beside Clara. "I'm sorry about your ship." She let out a small laugh. Didn't look at him. "I didn't lose anything irreplaceable." Then she turned. A faint smile. "I gained far more." Nico studied her, then nodded. Before he could reply, Amara appeared. "Captain, incoming transmission." "From who?" "Your previous employer." Nico smiled slightly. Of course. He turned to Clara. Care to join me? Her eyes darkened, a dangerous smile forming. Yes, I would. Pause, cinematic transition tone. A few moments later, they entered the calm room. Nico activated the system. A hologram flickered to life. Duchess Sylvia. Cold. Calculating. Captain, she said sharply. My son hasn't reported in. Nico tilted his head. Oh, he's currently unavailable. Her eyes narrowed. Explain. Nico smiled. He's a prisoner. Silence. Then, rage. Impossible. Your fleet. Nico continued calmly. Destroyed. Another denial. Another lie. So Nico stepped aside. Your Majesty. Clara stepped forward. Elegant. Controlled. Deadly. My dear Ed. She smiled. I wish I could say it's a pleasure. The Duchess froze. Now she believed it. What followed was not a conversation. It was a power shift. Deals shattered. Truth exposed. Betrayal revealed. And then, the final blow. Sylvia abandoned her own son. Keep him. The words echoed. And Harry heard everything. Mother, but she was already gone. The transmission ended. And just like that, the war had changed. Nico exhaled slowly. Yeah, he muttered. That was rough. Clara smiled faintly. Divide and conquer. Silence settled again. But this time, it felt different. Not like the end of something, but the beginning of something far bigger.